Hey, mahal everyone. Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I'm your host 40 and we are back with another video on the global version of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're doing the underappreciated for one of the characters in Dissidia Opera Omnia who generally need a little bit more TLC to make them work within your team composition. And this character is going to be none other than Final Fantasy XIII's Sazh. Now, a lot of you guys who watched my video on Shadow were commenting on Sazh, so I was all like, why not do a video on Sazh? And I know one of my good buddies who's on my Dissidia Opera Omnia friends list, Kaillera, is going to be a fan of this video because Kaillera mains Sazh. So this video is going to be an underappreciated video on Sazh. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So we're going to first look at Sazh's statistics. So his character role is going to be a range attacker and a buffer. I'm going to go ahead and get into why he's a buffer, towards, why we move forward with this video. His speed tier is slow, meaning that Sazh will generally take his turn last, depending on who you have on your team. His crystal affinity is fire or red, if you want to focus on the color of the crystal. His level 1 and crystal level 1 stats are HP 1050, initial brave 160, max brave 500, attack 175 and defense 170. Upon reaching level 50 and crystal level 50, his stats are 4265 HP, initial brave at 739, max brave at 1364, attack 500 and defense 480. So right off the bat, looking at his stats, what stands out to me most of all is his HP and defense. So for a ranged attacker, he has a little bit of bulk to him. He's somewhat tanky for a ranged attacker. His max brave and definitely his attack are pretty good. His max brave is actually kind of decent compared to the rest of the cast. His attack is definitely good. It's up there, meaning that when Sazh deals any sort of brave attack, he's going to be dealing a little bit more damage compared to the rest of the cast who has lower base attack stat. However, where Sazh falters is his initial brave, because it's at 739 at level 50 and crystal level 50, meaning that he's gonna need a little bit more to build up his brave to max because his initial brave is so low. His two abilities are aim. So aim is a one-hit range brave attack that never misses. So even if Sazh is under the blind debuff, he's not gonna miss. It also provides a small attack up to himself for 3 turns if the target has a debuff upon Sazh using this. So if Sazh uses aim on a target that has a debuff, he will apply a small attack buff to himself for 3 turns. So pretty nice. And also what I tend to notice is that aim, kind of like Balthier's snatch shot, has a little bit of a higher damage modifier, compared to a standard brave attack. So that's something to note for Sazh's aim ability. His ability 2 is attack boost, which grants a target, it's either for himself or an ally, a medium attack up and medium critical rate up for 2 turns. So anybody that he places the attack boost on, whether it's himself or his allies, gains a medium attack and a critical rate up a boost for 2 turns. So that's pretty cool that Sazh has that little buff to support the party with. So Sazh's passive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the passives that he gets with his crystal level. So the first one he gets is high tension. So his attack is raised by a small amount for 3 turns at the start of a battle. CP cost 10. Very good because Sazh is a high attacker with his stat. It's good that he has this passive because it allows him to be able to have a higher chance of brave breaking an enemy with a brave attack because of this passive. Aim charge is his next one, which increases the usage of aim by +1. As I always say, any type of passive that increases the usage of an ability is great because it allows you to have more usage for that ability. Father's Pride is his next one. It's a low chance of gaining a small brave up for 3 turns after a brave attack. The cost of that is 15. I would have said that this passive is pretty good had the cost been maybe either 5 or 10, but at 15, it's kind of hefty for a small max brave up. But, it's up to you if you want to use this, but for CP cost 15, it's kind of a hefty cost. The next one is critical brave gain, so it grants a small amount of brave after inflicting a critical hit, and the CP cost of that is 5. I'm gonna say that this one is pretty decent because of the cost is so low. So essentially, a critical hit is usually implemented when a target is already broken. So if you use a brave attack on a target that's already broken, it's already a guaranteed crit. So the fact that this costs 5, pretty good, so he can gain a small amount of brave after inflicting a critical hit. Attack boost light, small reduction in action delay after using attack boost, CP cost 10. Again, as I always say, any type of passive that reduces the action delay of any character's abilities is great, so this is good to have on Sazh. Death blow, HP attack cannot miss, CP cost 5. Cheap CP cost, and the fact that his HP attack will never miss. Great ability. So that means that even if Sazh is blinded, he's going to be guaranteed to land that HP attack. Aim power up, slightly raises the potency of aim. CP cost 10, good, because his aim in itself already has a pretty high damage modifier, and the fact that this is increasing that damage, and the CP cost is not too bad. Pretty good passive. Attack boost charge. Attack boost aegis +1, CP cost 15. Kind of hefty for a CP cost, but then again, it increases the usage of attack boost, so I do recommend you having this. And then his last one at level 50 is Father's Nature. It grants a +1 to pre-existing buffs when buffing allies. So essentially, whenever Sazh uses attack boost, he's going to get a +1 to whatever pre-existing buffs he has. Now, I would have said this is good, but the fact that it costs 20 is a little hefty. If it costed even just 15, it would have made it even better. So I'm gonna say this is just an average passive for a level 50. But you know, again, it's pretty niche since it does give him a +1 duration to the passive that he already has after using attack boost. Now the next thing that we're gonna look at is something that my subscribers suggested to me on the comments from my last video for Underappreciated. So this is going to be focusing on Sazh's artifact passive, so thank you to those of you who commented on my last Underappreciated video for adding this. So the artifact passives that Sazh gets is, the first one is Brave Attack Up. So this raises his attack power by 2% when Brave is over 50% max Brave. So that's for the 1-star version. The 2-star version raises attack power by 5% when Brave is over 50% max Brave. So definitely, I feel like this one is good because Sazh in itself, his kit is kind of, it's not so good compared to the rest of the other characters. Having this will definitely help him out since it increases his attack. So that way, any type of brave damage he deals is going to be closer to be guaranteeing a brave break. Buffed attack raises attack power by 2% when buffed, 1-star, and raises attack power by 5% when buffed, 2-star. Again, anything that raises attack I feel like is good because of the fact that his toolkit is, again, lackluster. So something like this would definitely help him out. Mighty Aim raises brave damage up by aim by 5% if it's a 1-star, and raises brave damage by 10% if it's a 2-star. Again, very good because aim never misses and it deals brave damage. So pretty cool that Sazh has this. So if you happen to get Mighty Aim for his artifact passives, great. And the last one he gets is Bravery Attack Boost. It raises Brave by 5% of initial Brave after using Attack Boost for the 1-star, and for the 2-star, it raises it by 10. I'm gonna feel like this one is probably his most efficient type artifact passive compared to the rest of them, because even though his initial brave is low, the fact that he has different ways to increase his attack, whether it's his passives or his abilities, this one is kind of the most lackluster one. But if you feel like using this one, if you happen to unlock it, then more power to you. Alright, the next thing we're going to be looking at is his equipment lineup. Now, keep in mind, this video, upon the making of it, is focusing on whatever he has globally released. So the first one is the 5-star Altair, which is his 15 CP weapon at max limit break. It's at 30 CP. All it does is increase his aim's potency, and it extends the small attack up duration. So normally it's 3 turns, but instead it's 4 turns. And it grants a small defense up for 4 turns if the target is debuffed. So again, if he uses aim while having the Altair equipped, it's going to give him a 4-turn small attack up duration and a 4-turn small defense up duration. His other ones is 4-star Vega, CP 10, max limit break 20, increases his HP by 340, and 4-star Ceramic Armband, CP 20, max limit break 40, initial brave plus 110. So Ceramic Armband is definitely good to have since Sazh in its, he has a pretty low initial brave. All right, next thing we're going to go ahead and cover is Sazh's pros and cons. So what are his pros? He's definitely somewhat tanky for a range attacker with his HP and defense being high. His attack stat is great, ensuring that he will be dealing high amounts of brave damage. His max brave is fairly decent. It isn't the best, but compared to the rest of the cast, it's not bad. He can act as a support or DPS with his ability kit, so he can either aim as a DPS, so he can definitely try to brave break the enemy faster, or he can use attack boosts to support either himself or your party. Now, his passives definitely complement his brave damage, since they focus on increasing his attack stat. So that is his pros. Now, his cons are, again, as previously mentioned, his initial brave is a bit on the lower side, meaning that he will need a little bit more brave attack usage to reach his maximum brave. He is of the slow speed tier, and unfortunately, Sazh has no passives or anything else that really influence his speed, which is sadly unfortunate, because even if he had some kind of a passive that helps his speed out a little bit, which helps him to act faster, that would definitely help him out. His abilities on their own are pretty lackluster, considering that there are characters who can do what he does better. Now we're going to go ahead and go on to what could Sazh be given to be better. So giving aim either a guaranteed debuff or a mastery mechanic after a certain amount of usage would make him better. So what I mean by mastery is kind of like Bart's with his double hand or missile. When you use it a certain amount of times, it gets a little bit better. Same thing with Sazh. So after he uses aim, maybe after 2 uses, his aim could become a 2-hit brave plus HP attack. So it could become a hybrid ability, which would definitely make it more viable. If his attack boost ability is allowed to be an AoE buff to the party rather than a single target buff, that would definitely make him better. It would definitely make him a lot more viable for sure, because right now that attack boost is a single target. If they gave him a passive that increased his speed, or even changing him to a mid-tier speed character rather than a slow speed tier character, would help him out. And giving his current 5-star gear a passive that adds a debuff or gives him a speed buff to one of his skills upon usage would definitely make him better. Now the next thing I want to cover is what are good teammates for Sazh. So Sazh is definitely good with characters who are of a faster speed tier than him, and either have a hard-hitting multi-brave attack ability or a brave plus HP attack ability. So characters that fit this category would be Tidus, Vaughn, Bart, or Firion, because they all either have a multi-hit brave attack, and they are of a speed tier category that is faster than Sazh. Because seeing that Sazh doesn't really have anything to influence his speed, these characters would benefit from that, because those characters would act first. So then that way, if you're fighting a boss that is of a higher speed tier category, at least you have characters that can act right away. So then that way you can avoid getting brave broken, and then when Sazh's turn comes around, he can go ahead and buff those characters with attack boost, ensuring that those characters will be dealing more brave damage because of the attack boost. And also Sazh fits well to support a highly aggressive team setup that focuses on a brave breaking party that focuses on brave breaking the enemy as fast as possible with high attack. Now, the next slide focuses on what will Sazh be getting in the future, and how is he going to be functioning in the future? And again, this was suggested to me in the comments from my first underappreciated video for Shadow, so thank you to you guys who suggested this. So in the future, Sazh is going to be getting a buff to his aim. So his aim max usage is going to be increasing from 5 to 7. Now this is without his passive buffs, and it gains a lower action delay, meaning that whenever Sazh uses aim, there's a very high chance that he's going to be acting sooner because of the low action delay. The same thing is going to be given to his attack boost. It's going to gain a max usage increase from 3 to 4 and gains a lower action delay. Later on, he's going to be gaining access to a 5-star 35 CP weapon, which is called Spica. So Spica gives his attack boost another usage of +1. It improves his attack up and crit up, and extends the duration. So his attack boost currently gives a 2-turn medium attack up and crit up. However, with the Spica equipped, it's going to be for 3 turns, and it's going to be a large boost to both of those statistics. And it also grants Sazh himself a medium max brave up, a medium attack up, a large crit rate up, and a medium speed up for 6 turns, and it changes his HP attack to HP attack plus for 6 turns. So it makes him definitely a lot more hard hitting. The next thing that he's going to be getting in the future is 5-star sprint shoes, which is going to be his 5-star armor. It grants him a little bit more survivability with HP plus 680 and attacks plus 72. Now, how is Sazh on the JP tier list as of now? I absolutely do not like mentioning tier lists, because for me, when it comes to games like this, it's all about playing your favorite character, because if you focus too much on tier lists, I feel like it takes away from the fun. But just for the sake, of mentioning it, unfortunately, guys, Sazh still remains at the bottom of the tier list to this day on JP. Now, this could change if they decide to give him his level 60. So if he gains his level 60 in JP, who knows? He might be much better. He might definitely climb the tier list. But for now, unfortunately, he is at the bottom of the tier list. But do not let the tier list underwhelm you from using him. If you like Sazh, if Sazh was your favorite character in Final Fantasy 13, then definitely use him, because he still has his usage, okay? And that's what I say for any character that I review for these underappreciated. They still have their uses regardless of where they're going to be in the future. Now, upon this discussion, I'm going to be moving forward to showing you guys some gameplay featuring Sazh and 2 teammates that I like to feature within the party. Let's go ahead and take a look at that gameplay. Alright guys, so following the discussion on the underappreciated for Sazh, we're going to go ahead and tackle some battles just to kind of showcase Sazh along with some other team members. So the team that I'm going to be taking is Sazh, and I'm going to be taking Vaughn and Tidus because they are of a faster speed tier category than Sazh, and they have abilities that are either a multi-hit Brave attack or a Brave plus HP attack. So Sazh's attack boost ability is definitely going to be helping out with the DPS of those abilities. So we're going to go ahead and begin here, and the summon that I'm going to be taking is Shiva, because I definitely want to influence the speed for my characters in the event that their Brave falls below their initial Brave. So we're going to be taking, let's go ahead and take Mr. Happy's Tidus here. Wow, Mr. Happy, kudos to you. You max limit break both his 35 CP Brotherhood and his 5-star armor. So awesome, awesome. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take this team here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just Brave attack. I'm not too concerned about these bosses. I'm just going to HP attack. I just want to deal as much damage as possible and not waste my abilities on these bosses. He's likely gonna start charging, or wait, not yet. Okay, not yet, not yet. Okay, we got the chain attack. Awesome. And just a reminder, chain attacks, especially if you Brave Break, help build the summon bar a lot faster. Alright, there we go. Okay, that's one boss down. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the zoo. So we're gonna HP attack now, since we have an HP attack available for all characters. And then the next 3 turns, we're just gonna go ahead and build up their Brave again. So then that way, when this boss uses Dust Storm, we're not in any danger of being Brave broken. Alright, so the boss is gonna use Dust Storm, not too concerned. Nice. Just gonna go ahead and HP attack here during this chain. Let's go ahead and break him. And look at that, we already got our summon. He's gonna breath now. Let's go ahead and break the enemy again. Let's go ahead and just use a quick hit. There we go. Nice. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and smack him with some HP attacks. And finish him off with an HP attack from Vaughn. Alright, So this is where things get a little bit more tricky, because this boss hits a little bit harder compared to the last two. Hopefully we can do this without abilities. So I'm just going to go ahead and Brave Attack, because he's going to use Fire Breath. Let's go ahead and quick hit with Tidus. And I'm going to go ahead and HP attack with Vaughn, since he's not being targeted. Okay, I'm waiting for him to start charging up. So then that way, when we break him, he'll be in like this phase where he's stunned for a little bit. Alright, so that phase is coming up soon. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just HP attack. HP attack. Nice. Alright, he's charging up. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and use aim with Sazh. Let's use red spiral with Vaughn. Nice. And we're going to use a regular brave attack. Let's white whirl now with Vaughn. Just to lower the cost of the mastery. We're gonna quick hit with Tidus just in case his ability, his AoE ability does a ton of damage. So Vaughn is being targeted. Go ahead and quick hit again. We're gonna use red spiral. Let's go ahead and slash combo. Let's see if this finishes him off. Okay, he didn't finish him off, but that's fine. And Sazh will go ahead and finish him off. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the EX Skull Dragon boss. So hopefully we can showcase how Sazh can definitely help out this party. We're gonna quick hit. Let's go ahead and white whirl with actually we're gonna HP attack with Vaughn. And I'm gonna go ahead and attack boost Vaughn first, so he gets the medium attack up and critical up. And then we're gonna go ahead and slash combo with Tidus just to apply the debuffs. Alright, I'm gonna quick hit now. And we're gonna go ahead and white whirl with Vaughn. And I'm gonna attack boost on Tidus now. And let's see. Okay, Vaughn's being targeted. So let's go ahead and slash combo. And we're gonna go slash combo again, yeah. Nice. As you can see, because of that attack boost, it definitely helped in dealing as much damage as possible with those brave attacks prior to the HP attack. Alright, so crushing fans we can't really avoid, because it's always going to do 100% brave. But let's see what we can do here. We're gonna quick hit. And as you can see, it does a ton of damage. We're going to go ahead and aim with Sazh. We're going to slash combo. HP attack with Sazh. Oh wait, I mean, whoops. My bad on that. HP attack with Sazh. And then with Vaughn, we're going to white whirl since it goes into luminescence. Nice. Go ahead and attack boost Vaughn again. I'm waiting for him to pop that that buff that he does. We're gonna red spiral now. There we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and pop Shiva. HP attack, aim, red spiral. Nice. We're gonna switch off to this other Tidus now because he has his abilities. Let's apply more debuffs on him so that way we can cancel out one of the buffs. Nice, there we go. Okay. Nice. Aim. Slash combo. HP attack. Slash combo again. Nice. Awesome finish there. So again, you guys can see that Sazh definitely helps out with those characters that are of a faster speed tier than he is, and definitely those characters that have either a multi-hit Brave attack or an attack that has a Brave plus an HP attack attached to it, because it does influence their attack and their crit rate. Alright guys, well that is going to be my video for the underappreciated for Sazh, so hopefully you Sazh fans enjoyed this video. And again, if you guys have any suggestions for Sazh, or if I might have missed something, please leave it in the comment section below, because I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say in regards to this character. Alright guys, once again, I am the Broadway Saiyan, my name is 40. Stay tuned for the next video on Dissidia, Opera Omnia, and Mahal everyone.